Hello fellow cinephiles, Film Guru here. Today I'm reviewing Widows. This was directed by Steve McQueen and stars Viola Davis, Michelle Rodriguez, Elizabeth Debicki, Cynthia Erivo, Daniel Kaluuya, Colin Farrell, Liam Neeson and Robert Duvall. The story of four women with nothing in common except for a debt left behind by their dead husband's criminal activity. Ultimately it's about them banding together and trying to work out what they need to do in order to pay off this debt that their husbands owed. They ultimately come up with a heist in order to steal the money that they need, pay off the Manning brothers, played by Brian Tree Henry and Daniel Kaluuya, and ultimately give themselves some money to survive, because they relied completely and solely on their husband's activities, even though they were criminal, to provide the money and the life that they really wanted. And it's ultimately a look at how these four women accomplish this, how they go about organising the heist, what they need to do, learning to shoot guns, and learning to do a variety of other things. And it shows four really strong, powerful women doing what they need to do to survive. I got excited when I first heard about Steve McQueen doing another film. I'd been a really big fan of his previous films, Hunger, Shame, and 12 Years a Slave, and I think he's a very talented director who does a lot of powerful and gritty sort of films, and they're really beautifully shot. He began as a photographer before he became a filmmaker, and I really like what he's able to accomplish visually. His visual style is really powerful, and he creates some really fascinating and interesting shots to tell his story, and he is a really good storyteller. But when I heard he was doing a heist picture, I was a bit hesitant to begin with, because of the fact he'd done three really great and gritty and powerful films before this. And I just felt he was doing a heist picture, a genre picture that so many people have done before. Like, it reminded me of how Ben Affleck came out and did Gone Baby Gone, which was a really brilliant film, and then he did a heist picture, The Town, and it just wasn't as good. I knew it would be really well made and shot, and the acting would be spectacular. All the women that he's cast in here do a brilliant job, and I knew it was going to be a solid film. But I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. But I want to start with the positives first. Like I said, Steve McQueen is a really great filmmaker. This is a really solid movie. Visually it looks fantastic, some really creative, inventive ideas of how to shoot particular things. There's a particular conversation piece in a car that is shot completely from the exterior, which is a really interesting and different way to do it, which I kind of liked. All the shots that he set up were kind of interesting. There was things happening within the frame and it looked quite wonderful to look at. Most of the acting is solid. All the women do a really fantastic job. Viola Davis is Viola Davis. She's a very solid and powerful actress. And she plays a character in this, Veronica, which I find an interesting character. Puts on like a brave face and this tough exterior, but inside she's sort of scared and doesn't know what to do. And I really think Viola Davis really captured that quite well. Michelle Rodriguez is Michelle Rodriguez. She does a really solid job in this. I really like her as an actress, and I think does a really good job here playing this particular character she does play. Colin Farrell's okay, and Robert Duvall does what Robert Duvall does, I guess. And Liam Neeson is kind of solid here too as well. He plays sort of an interesting sort of criminal character. But to me, the real standout to this film is Cynthia Erivo, who's only in a really small portion of this film, and I think she deserved to be in a lot more of it because she's a really talented actress. She has this real presence on film, and she's really fantastic to watch. And a very exciting new talent. She came from doing theatre. The first time I saw her was in Bad Times at the El Royale, which she was brilliant in, and she does another fantastic job in this, and I really like to see more of her, and I think she's got quite an exciting career to unfold for her as she goes along, because she is very talented. The other actors I really enjoyed was Daniel Kaluuya, first time I'd really seen him was in Get Out, and he's really great here. He plays a character that's sort of dark and twisted and very violent, but you really get a sense of who he is. He's one of the very few characters you really know who he is and the type of person he is, and he portrays that in such a great and powerful way, and he's a very intimidating sort of character, and I think he plays that really well. But the real standout for me was Elizabeth Debicki. I really like her as an actress. She first sort of appeared in The Great Gatsby, the remake they did with Leonardo DiCaprio that Baz Luhrmann did, and I really liked her in that. She was really the character and actress I got a lot out of in that film. And she also appeared in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which didn't show off a lot of her talents, and she also has done a TV series as well, a short-lived Australian TV series. And she's really great in this, I think. She starts as a character who gets pushed around a little bit. Ultimately, people really underestimate her. They think she's just a silly, blonde sort of person, but she's actually not. She's quite intelligent. And really, what I like most about her character in this is she takes a stand. She doesn't take the abuse that she's been taken. She doesn't be told what she can and can't do. She really takes control of her life. And she has a great sort of arc. And she evolves and becomes her own person. Becomes a powerful and strong woman that she is. And I really liked her in this. There's some great moments with her, particular things where she has to get a van and she's looking at guns, and also the other things that transpire for her in this film. She's not what she seems, and she's much more and much more capable than people give her credit for, and I really liked that about her. The other part I really liked about this film was the heist. Watching these women come together, organise this heist, and the way it was done. From the heist to the end was the best part of the film. The second half, third act was really the best part of the film, I felt. Just seeing how these women come together, band together to accomplish the goals that they set out to do. And to do this robbery. And like most robberies, things don't go quite according to plan. And it's about how they navigate through the things that go bad and what they ultimately do to accomplish what they've set out to do. And the other real powerful thing is just really about these four strong, powerful women taking control of their lives, directing their fate and their destiny, and trying to get to a place that they want to be and to be happy and safe, away from all these criminal elements and all these sort of despicable and abusive men that they've become part of. And they're just really fascinating to watch, and it's really such a sort of great story seeing these four women accomplishing what they set out to do. Now, look, I do have some criticisms about this film. I felt you were just thrown into the world. You didn't really get a sense of who the characters were. You didn't really care for them to begin with because you didn't know anything about them. I felt most of the film I was just watching these characters do what they do, but I didn't really feel for them. It wasn't until halfway through the film, when they were preparing for the heist and the heist itself, that I really got into their characters and really enjoyed them. But I just felt there wasn't enough depth here for the characters to know more about them as we should have. And they really want us to care about them, but we don't know a lot about them. I found some of the characters pointless. I found it a bit jarring in places to jump from one thing to another, and I felt a bit lost to begin with. It took a long time, like I said, to get into this film, but once I did, I quite enjoyed it. Ultimately, I think this is the weakest film of Steve McQueen's career. I just feel that Hunger, Shame, and 12 Years a Slave are all really powerful and striking and gritty films, and I think they were his best catalogue of films. 12 Years a Slave, I think, is his best film, but the other two are really fantastic as well. And I just felt this film was a bit more commercial than he'd done before. It didn't have his grittiness and his style and the powerfulness that I felt this film should have that his previous films did. All the actors did a solid job with this film, and it's okay film. Like it's well put together, it looks nice, the acting's really solid, and it was kind of an interesting story, but I just felt a bit disappointed in it. Maybe my expectations were too high, but with someone like Steve McQueen, I expected a lot from him. The motivations behind some characters' decisions, I didn't quite buy. I didn't quite get why they were doing it that way. Final verdict. If you're a fan of Steve McQueen's previous films, if you like him as a filmmaker, you might really enjoy this. If you want a good story with some solid and wonderful acting, you might enjoy this as well. I don't know if it'll be for everyone, but they will find an audience, and I think that people who do watch it will enjoy it. And there is some, like I said, positives to take away from this film. There are just other things I didn't quite enjoy as much as I expected. I'm going to give this film 3.5 out of 5. It's above average. It was entertaining. I did enjoy aspects and elements of this. Anyway, that's all from me today. Thanks for watching this video. If you like this video and any other videos on my channel, please hit subscribe down the bottom. The next review I will be doing will be Robin Hood, which is coming out this week. Anyway, as usual, thanks for watching. And until next time, enjoy the movies.